Alright, trying something a little different. I'm trying to figure out how to get a microphone going in the truck. Figure I'd try just using my headphones. Seemed to work when I did a little test earlier, so hopefully this one will turn out a whole lot better. Just seemed like there was a lot of background noise going on. But yeah, Christmas is over. Went up to the UP with a Home Depot load that I got from Illinois. Dropped that off, and now I got this stuff, which is going out to Virginia. It's a bunch of snow plows, which is kind of cool. And you don't really think of Virginia as being a place that needs or that gets any snow, but I mean, I guess they do, so I don't know. Oh yeah, a bunch of snowmobile trailers passing me, which makes me anxious for snowmobile season to come, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna pass the Mackinac Bridge here soon, get out of the UP, go into Lower Michigan, and yeah, since it's around Christmas time right now, like the nighttime and weekend dispatch crew, it seems like are the people that are running dispatch just this whole week. That's what it seems like anyways. Yesterday when I came out of the house, my normal dispatcher was on, and I guess he was on that night, but now during the day today, I had a different guy helping me out, and of course last night I did too, since it was after 5, and you know, that's kind of normal hours for your primary dispatcher is like 7 to 5, and then they're done. And then, you know, Monday through Friday, and then weekend crew, nighttime crew, all that good stuff. And they do whatever they do, and I mean, the situation about it, I'm sure, is that people don't want to be running dispatch at night. They don't want to be there on the weekend. They don't want to be doing all kinds of stuff. Like they want the job that your primary dispatcher has already got. And I guarantee your primary dispatcher has already gone through what those weekend and nighttime crew dispatchers have been doing. I'm sure that you start, you know, sort of at the bottom and work your way to the top, you know, in that sort of regard. But the problem with it, and I had it today, and I had it yesterday, and I know that it exists. I've known it for a while. Basically, if you don't handle your business correctly between the hours of 7 and 5, you are going to be screwed. Your dispatcher, your primary dispatcher, he or she knows exactly like what they're trying to do with you, where they're trying to get you to go, what loads you got lined up, what appointment times have to line up where. They know all of that stuff, and I guarantee you that the guys who are on nighttime and weekend dispatch, they're just kind of filling in for people, and I'm sure they're spread real thin, and they're getting a whole bunch of calls from everyone, and it's probably just overwhelming. But basically, last night they couldn't figure out where to send me, which I don't know what the heck it was, but basically they just couldn't send through my workflow to my PC, so I didn't know where I was going, but they did tell me that it was in Iron Mountain, so I just stayed there for the night. and woke up in the morning to figure out that I was 2 miles away from where I was supposed to be, which was great because I think I had to start a 14-hour clock, and you know, that wasn't the end of the world. I was like, all right, that's fine. And they said that it was a preload, so ran over there to get the preload, and I mean, it was mostly done. There was another guy out there who was a local guy, and he helped me out strapping and all that. I believe that it was kind of his responsibility to have it done in the first place, but I mean, that sort of stuff doesn't happen that often. That your load is sitting there on a trailer, ready to go, and all you gotta do is put the straps on it. That sort of stuff doesn't happen. So the fact that there was I think there was 6 straps missing off the whole thing, that was like a drop in the bucket of water. It really was not that big of a deal, but yeah, loaded that up. He gave me a couple of tips and tricks for what I'm hauling, and he also explained some stuff about how payroll works at the company, and now I'm going to be watching my payroll a little bit better, because he said that they screw it up a lot, but that's beside the point. And then I ran outside, logged my hours, and was ready to go, but I had no fuel stops in my workflow, which basically my workflow tells me what where I'm picking up at, where they want me to get fuel at, and where I'm delivering to. And all I saw was where I'm picking up at and where I'm delivering to. Now there's 1,000 miles in between where I picked up at and where I'm delivering at. And I mean, all this, even though I got a full tank of fuel, both tanks are full, it's not going to make it all the way there. So I was like, hey, do you want me to stop and get some fuel somewhere? Send me a fuel and route plan, because they didn't send me one of those either. Sometimes they'll send those through because basically they'll route you towards your fuel stops, and your fuel stops will be along the way towards your final destination. So it just kind of works out, makes everything convenient for me and also for them. They don't have to scramble something together and just get it out there as soon as possible. They can take their time and plan the whole trip, and it kind of takes it out of your hands of doing that and puts it in their hands, so it's kind of nice. But yeah, they didn't have anything done, and I was like, all right, well, I'll wait for a bit, that's okay. And the guy on the other side, he was basically just saying that there was an issue with it and all that. Oh, by the way, this is probably the best view right up there, that house. To the right here is Lake Michigan, and I mean, this whole, the Highway 2 running through here is just kind of scenic in general. There's not much going on, and it's like just trees and lake. It's really nice. But anyways, so yeah, he didn't have anything going, I guess, working correctly for him. So eventually, he just told me, don't worry about the fuel right now. We'll get that figured out, which is all right. I'm not going to run out of fuel today, so it's not the end of the world. And he was like, yeah, just get rolling. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Set my destination in the PC, and I was gone. And I mean, after leaving, I should have done a little of, what do you want to call it? I should have basically checked to see if the miles that I was saving going this way over the Wash, over the Mackinac Bridge. I should have gone to see if the miles I was saving there, added together with the toll that I have to pay out of my own pocket to cross the bridge, would have added up to any sort of difference any sort of difference compared to going around Chicago and Gary and all that at the bottom side of Lake Michigan. I really should have checked that, but did not. I'm assuming, I would assume that it would probably been about 150 miles more, something like that, 100 to 200 miles more, which basically means that I would be put back into the hole as compared to the $40 toll that I have to pay to cross the Mackinac Bridge. I believe it's 40. It's either 30 or 40. I brought 40 with me, so that's all good. And if I was a less experienced driver and I didn't understand that the Mackinac Bridge, the toll doesn't come out of my pre-pass, I have to pay for it myself, this really would have been an issue, because I would have gotten to the toll and I think I have probably $23 in my wallet before I stopped and got another 40. It really would have been an issue then, because I would have, probably had to turn around at the toll or do whatever. I don't know how they handle that crap, but got a ticket? I have no idea. I've never missed a payment on a toll. I have no idea. But yeah, it'd just be a little speed bump more than likely. Best case scenario, a little speed bump. Oh, you just got to turn around over here, and if you don't turn around, we got a ticket waiting for you, and if you do turn around, just come on back and you pay me for it, and we're all good to go. And then worst case scenario is you got a ticket, and now you got like a $100-something fine, I'm sure, with a semi too. Who knows? But yeah, it's just eventful like that. I remember this past week when I was running nights, I never had to deliver or pick up outside of the hours of 7 to 5, which is how I like to do it. I mean, in flatbed, you can't really deliver outside of those hours. It's kind of set in stone like that, but I mean, if something happened or whatever, things can get weird, and sometimes nighttime dispatch and weekend dispatch, they aren't always the greatest, and especially when you're going over the weekend, it's I don't know if I have a real good example of it, but basically, I'm sure that it's happened before, but running over the weekend like that, if you have to make a delivery and make a pickup, sometimes things just get screwed up because, it's the weekend and there's a lot of moving parts, and sometimes places aren't open and the freight is not where it needs to be that day in particular. I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff that happens like that. But yeah, I believe that everyone's just kind of off. I don't know. Maybe my dispatcher just took off for New Year's, and he had that. Yeah, he'd maybe had it scheduled so that he could just have before Christmas all the way through to the end of New Year's off, but they didn't have anyone to cover his situation yesterday. I have no idea. But yeah, it's kind of weird because you get really used to having your dispatcher. So I'm used to how he speaks to me, and how good he is at what he does. and how quickly he can get things done for me, and like when things line up back to back and it's not even an issue. Okay, that's fine. I mean, you just kind of get used to that. So today when I had a guy that just sort of, you know, I'm sure he had a lot on his plate, and I mean, maybe he doesn't have as much time under his belt as my regular dispatcher does. I have no idea. I mean, I give him all the benefit of the doubt, and it's not really going to affect my day any, but, you know, there was a couple of speed bumps, and, I mean, what are you going to do, you know? He's probably in, you know, Gary, Indiana, and I'm sitting in Iron Mountain. What are you going to do? But yeah, I don't know. I guess it probably doesn't help that I'm a creature of habit. That probably doesn't help either, but yeah. I don't know what that noise is. It's been making that noise all day, but yeah. So I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.